Hey guys, and welcome back to another playthrough here on the Boards, Bricks and Battlefield channel, and of course it's Tide of Iron. So today we're moving on. We finished the Fantasy Flight website exclusives. We move on to the 1A Games scenario booklet, which was published with the Kickstarter of the Next Wave edition of Tide of Iron. And that scenario booklet includes 10 scenarios, and one of these scenarios, which is Anzio, which we're playing today, you only need the core game to play. So the scenario booklet was supposed to be included with the Kickstarter pledge of the Next Wave edition, but as you know, 1A Games lost the license to Tide of Iron and finally went out of business. So the scenario booklet was never, ever, as I know it, printed and delivered with pledges. Instead, it was made available online. So you've seen it if you watched my videos before we started with all of these website exclusives. I printed all of these scenarios and the scenario booklet into my own little scenario booklet. So this, I think, is going to be a very interesting scenario. It's not too big. We got 9 map panels, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to start right away by looking at the scenario background. So this is Anzio. Background is May 23rd, 1944. The US 1st Armored Division started the process of the final breakout from Anzio beachhead. Its assignment was to open the road leading to Rome and link up with the rest of the Allies advancing from the south. The German 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division held a key passage along the road. So our objective is to capture both victory hexes by the end of round 9. So we have 9 rounds. So that's one of the things I like with this, because in many of the scenarios I feel very rushed to act early. But here I don't feel that. We have 9 rounds, so we have a little bit more time to carefully advance and not have to stress too much. So the victory hexes are over here, and since it doesn't say that we have to capture the buildings, I think all that we need to do is to be within those hexes by at least the end of round 9. If it would have said buildings, then they can't be contested. You have to clear out the whole multi-building, every hex from enemies. But since it does say hex and not buildings, I'm not going to play it like that. We have a quote as well here. Everything is ready. We got huge numbers of artillery, special 50 caliber machine guns on tripods to provide overhead firepower, and every other building had a tank hidden in it. Robert Dodge, 15th Regiment, United States 3rd Infantry. So let's go ahead and look at our American setup here. So I set up with the American forces first, and we have 2 divisions. And 1st Division, which is the dark green, they starts with 7 squads, 14 regular, 5 elite, 3 officer, 1 machine gun, 2 mortars, and then they got 2 engineers, 1 flamethrower, 1 medic, so quite a lot of specialization tokens here, and 3 Shermans. So here we have a flamethrower, that's 1 officer, 2 elite, 1 regular. Here we have engineer, 1 officer, 3 regular. Here we have a medic, 2 elite, 2 regular. Here we have an engineer, 3 regular, 1 officer. Here we have a flamethrower. That's 2 regular, 1 elite, 1 officer. Finally, we have a medic here, and that's 3 regular, 1 officer. And yeah, that's actually part of Division 2. Division 1 here with the 2 mortars. And then we got some Shermans placed out. We have Division 2, which is 7 squads that consist of 5 regular, 4 elite, 3 officer, 1 MG, 2 mortars, and 2 engineers, 1 flamethrower, and 1 medic. So they got the mortars set up here, so we got quite a lot of mortar support. And then I showed you these guys. We have more engineers here, both of them used all regular. Here we got a machine gun with 2 regular, another machine gun with 2 regular, 3 regular, 1 elite. Here we got an officer with 2 elites and 1 regular. And then the Shermans placed out. So I placed my Americans first, and then you go to the German setup. So first of all, the Germans get 10 entrenchments. and you get to place those whatever you want on your spawn hexes, which is going to be these maps. That's the spawn point of them. Oh yeah, we should say before that with the Americans that we have 2 starting strategy cards. So let's draw those right away. I don't want to draw from the artillery deck. I want to draw from the American air support. We get bombing run and air superiority. And that's in addition, I assume. Let's see here. Oh, I already drew my I already drew my air cards. Pardon me. So my air cards are here, and we have bombing run and strafing run. And yes, our we have 2 starting command points, and then we also have 2 strategy decks: American Air Support Deck 1 and Artillery Deck 2. On top of that, we have 3 operational cards, and you've seen them all before: clear mines, clear tank taps, and lay smoke. So they do exactly what they sound like they will do here. I give you a chance to pause the video if you want to read what they actually do. But yeah, you can lay mines. You can lay smoke, and you can clear tank traps and mines with your engineers. All of that's for your engineers to do. And their deployment zone is basically you got in these 3 hexes, 3 hexes up, and these 3 hexes, 3 hexes up are the deployment zone, except this middle one where there's only 2 hexes that you can place your units in. And that's it for the Americans. We go over to the Germans. So the Germans also, of course, have 2 divisions. And like I said, they get 10 of these entrenchments they can place out wherever they want after the Americans have set up. And I've decided to put them in the rough terrain. So they're going to get a total of 3 cover, 1 from the rough terrain and 2 from the entrenchment. This is going to be a hard defense map for the Germans. They're not really going to do much besides just defending. So with the Germans, we have a lot of infantry. They got 8 squads each. Both of them have 21 regular infantry, 4 elite infantry, 3 officers, 1 machine gun, 1 mortar, 1 half-track, 1 medic, and 1 bazooka, or Panzerfaust. And both of those divisions have that. And then you're free to place them out in any of these 3 map panels. So I basically put my machine guns up here, and up here, and they are going to be on opportunity fire covering the front. I've hidden my mortars back here, so with the plateau rule, they're not going to be able to have line of sight unless they come in one of these hexes, which is not likely. And then I just put my bazooka guys. They're up here, 1 squad, 2nd squad up here. They're probably going to be, just focusing on the tanks. We have quite a lot of tanks coming, half-tracks back there. And then we just got some standard infantry inside of the buildings covering. We got some mines here, a crap load of tank traps. So those 9 rounds that we have are definitely going to be needed. I see one small mistake I've made, and that is I should start with this half-track over here, so I gain that command point or command objective by the beginning of the game. With the Germans, we have 2 starting strategy cards. We've got Sniper Attack and Medical Support. Our strategy decks is Artillery 1 and Ground Support Deck 1. And that's it for our Germans. And then we have the scenario details finally. So again, we have 9 rounds. It's going to be a long game. Starting initiative starts with the Americans. We have 3 actions per turn. Again, special rules: the German player deploys his 10 entrenchments anywhere in the setup area after the American player sets up. And then on top of those 10 entrenchments, we have 6 minefields, as you see here, and 12 tank traps. Okay, so we're going to start playing, and I am going, just before we start, to place out these objective markers that the Americans have that objective point, and the Americans have these 2. So we can see here that on the whole map, there's not going to be any neutral objectives, only 2 German ones and 1 American one. So the question is now how I want to do this. I think, first of all, the Germans are going to set up their machine guns here in opportunity fire. And then I think I simply want to get my tanks up on these hills and just kind of start sniping the machine guns once the machine guns are down, I can start moving in with my regular infantry. One thing that I have to be careful of here is going to be the mortars, who we have seen before with the very bad armor of Sherman tanks. The mortars can do substantial damage. Our 80-gun enemies here, they need to be within 3 hexes to fire, so I also need to take that in mind when I start attacking. So we got 3 actions, and with the Shermans I got a movement of 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the question is, do I want to move all the way and open myself up to being fired upon, or do a fire and movement next round? I don't think I have that much time, so I think I'm simply going to move in. And he will still be too far away. Well, they can do a long range attack with that bazooka, actually. So maybe that's not the smartest move. The problem is that I'm gonna need someone to spot for my mortars to fire. So I think I just have to do that move and hope that my guys can survive whatever attack's gonna happen. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is that the machine guns are going to fire their opportunity fire. So they have a range of 3 when it comes to anti-tank, and a firepower of 2. These guys could also fire, but it would have to be long range, so I decided not to do that, just to use this guy. Otherwise he would have to do a combined opportunity fire, and he would have to only hit on a roll of 6 with 3 dice instead of 2. So we start with the first Sherman, and he miss. The second Sherman, and he miss again. He rolls snake eyes. Okay, so I have one more action to do with my Americans, and I'm just going to put 2 fatigue markers here on my Shermans. So I got one more Sherman I want to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to come within range. We go to the Germans now, and they are going to have 3 actions. And first thing I want to do is I want to fire at these Shermans. So I'll fire with this squad. He's going to have an anti-tank value of 7. So he has a range of 1, 2, 3, 4. He has a range of 3 with the anti-tank token. So that's going to be a long range. He will only hit on a roll of 6. He scores 1 hit, and the Sherman, having 4 in armor, is going to roll 4 defensive dice. And the Sherman rolls 2 5s, which is 2 successful covers, so that is not going to be a successful hit. We have one more bazooka guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's also at long range. Let's go ahead and use him too. So I could actually have done a combined fire. That probably would have been a lot smarter, but I'll remember that to next round. So he fires also with the same amount of dice. He will hit on a roll of 6. And he does not hit a single hit. And then we are going to fire with the mortars. So he's going to fire with only 2 dice. So he will use supportive fire from his friend. And that's going to give him 1 more dice. So he will do a direct attack, area attack against these 2 Shermans. So he's going to roll 3 dice doing that. And he hits twice. So that's a very lucky roll. First Sherman gets 4 defensive dice. And he blocks only 1 attack. So he's now lightly damaged. So just like I said, don't underestimate the mortars. The mortars, even with not very many dice, they can do a lot of damage. We'll go with the next Sherman, and he rolls no defense, so he takes 2 hits. Luckily for me, that's just light damage, but now both of my Shermans there are lightly damaged, so that's really not good. That's going to give them 1 less armor, of course, and 1 less movement point, and just 1 more damage point, and they're going to be heavily damaged, which is going to be a major problem. So again, don't underestimate the mortars. We're going to start moving in with our guys here, and we are going to move I want to get my other Shermans up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we go back to the Germans, and the Germans are going to move that half track into this hex, and he is then going to put some units into opportunity fire. So that's his 3 actions. We go back to the Americans, and they are going to move up their mortars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 actions. And then just keep moving up with the rest of the units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the Germans now, I know that there is not going to be any units that's going to come within line of sight. They simply don't have enough movement points, and I'm happy with my positions. So let's just say, to save ourselves some time, that the Germans pass. And that means all of the remaining actions are going to be done with my Americans, and they will simply start moving up. So they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And they have an officer, so they can go 4, 5. And this is the plateau rule, so these guys don't have line of sight to them since there's a hill in front of them, and these guys will move. Let's see, they should have line of sight. Machine guns, they are going to have line of sight to all of these hexes. They will not have line of sight here, so instead these guys will move like so. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has an officer, and this guy 4 or 5 can do the same since he also has an officer. And then we have these guys who want to move up, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy has an officer. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be the end of action phase game round 1. So we go on to the command phase, and there is no one who is capturing any objectives. So both of the teams will receive 4 command points. And we move on to spend command, and the Americans, they only have action phase cards, and they don't feel here, or I should say, I don't feel like maybe initiative is going to be super important. Well, let's go ahead. I have an initiative lead, so I'm going to put 2 of my points here into the initiative to make sure that I actually have to put 5 to make sure that I keep the initiative. I'm just feeling they could kill my... They could really do some heavy damage to my Shermans before I get to act with them if I don't do that. So I'll do that, and then the Germans, they decide to not do that. They use the medical support card, which is command cost 1. Choose one of your squads to receive a medic token. So we'll do that. And we have a medic token ready here. And I am going to put it on. Let's see here. I'll put it on one of these guys. It's a nice token that's going to give a +1 defense and the ability to heal, so that they pay 1 command for. And let's see what we have to do now. We move on. Stays here the initiative with the Americans. We draw strategy cards. The Americans keep drawing from the American Air Force deck. They draw air superiority, which has that plus, so we draw another card. And then we have bombing run. By the way, I had... oh, never mind. And the Germans draw ground support. So they draw suppressive support. And then we move on. So we start removing all of these tokens. And they will only keep their machine gunners in opportunity fire. And that's it. So we go to turn number 2. Okay, so now we have to try to see what we can do to limit the Germans' ability to keep doing damage to me. So I feel like the problem here is that the Shermans currently are the biggest threat, but there's not too much I can do about the mortars, I should say, are the biggest threat, but there's not too much I can do about that currently. So I think I'm going to focus on taking out those machine guns so that my guys can enter with the infantry and start clearing stuff up, because this I'm just going to have to push, I think. So I will activate this mortar squad. And that mortar squad is going to fire. He's going to fire with the help of this guy. So he's going to do a suppressive attack against this machine gun. So he is going to have 8 dice. And then with the support of the other mortar squad, that's a total of 4 mortar crews. They get 4 more dice. And the reason why I'm kind of overkilling it like that is because these guys have an entrenchment, they're in rough terrain, they have an officer, and they have an elite. So that is going to be a total of 5 defensive dice. Luckily, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes away only. So they will get hit on a roll of 5 or 6. I am thinking maybe before I do that, I should actually attack with my Shermans, because if they are unsuccessful with their attack, it's probably going to be smarter to mortar that first machine gun position. So I'll start attacking with my Shermans, and they will also do a support attack. So his firepower is 6. So let's see here. And then he gets free support from the other Sherman. And they are going to do a direct attack against these guys, a normal attack, so not a suppressive attack, hoping to do at least 3 casualties to them. And we score 1, 2, 3 hits, and that's not going to be enough because they're going to have 3 defense, 2 from the entrenchment and 1 from the rough terrain. And yep, just like I thought, they gained 1 cover, so they choose to kill the elite and then the officer. So that means they still have that machine gun up, ready to fire. Okay, so I am going to go with the mortar now, but I am still going to fire at the intended target. And I will get 12 dice suppressive fire against this machine gun. So here goes. Let's go ahead and mark them before, so we don't forget that. And we're firing. That's a really, really, really shit roll. 1 hit with that 6. And like I said, they will have 5 defense, 1 from the officer, 1 from the elite, 1 from the rough terrain, 2 from the entrenchment. So it's not going to happen. Yeah, they roll 2 blocks with the 5 and the 6. Well, actually, I don't know if I rolled that 5. I think I just moved the die, but whatever. They still rolled 2 blocks, so it's unsuccessful. Well, that's a big shame. I don't really have enough points to use any of these air power cards either. So now I'm kind of in a bad position here. The only thing I can really do is start moving up my tanks then. So I'll move up. I want to stay within 4 away from both of those AT guns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to move up here, do a movement and fire. And he's going to receive now fire from, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to fire opportunity fire, and he will use support from this guy since they're both now at long range. So they will need to roll 6 to hit. It's a long range attack, 3 dice. And they don't manage to roll any attack. So I will have 3 dice since it's a fire and movement and my firepower is 6. You could argue that I should attack these guys in the buildings, but I am fairly certain that line of sight is blocked, at least to this one because of the hill. I think this one too because of that building hex over here. So I'm going to do a normal attack against this squad in the entrenchment. and we score no hits. And then it is back to the Germans, and they will again use their mortar to attack. They will use 3 dice, do an area attack, normal attack here. And this time, luckily enough, they don't score any hit. And they used fire support from the other mortar team. But we still have our, I don't know why that's there, it should have been there. We still have our AT guys. So they will fire at the first Sherman with 7 dice. And they will use the support of this group to get 4 more dice. So that's 10 dice, and they will hit on a roll of 6. And they score 4 hits, so I think it's bye-bye Sherman. Wow. That's 3 hits. Okay, so the Sherman only has 3 defense now since he is lightly damaged. And he managed to roll 2 defenses. That's actually very good, but unfortunately it's not enough. He takes 1 hit and he goes from lightly damaged to heavily damaged. So that's a big problem. He's also kind of blocking his friends there, but it is what it is. We are going to have to try to deal with this best we can. Okay, so they use supportive fire from this guy. So they have one more thing they can do. And I'm kind of contemplating whether I should move in a medic and try to heal the machine gun, but I think it's too late for that, so I'm just going to skip doing that. Okay, so for the Germans, I will not do any further actions. Let's say that I put these 3 here in opportunity fire. And I'm just not going to put out the markers to save us some times here, so it's not going to be a 4-hour long video. I got 3 actions to do with the Americans. I am going to move up this Sherman. I take opportunity fire, long range from the 2 machine guns with 3 dice, and they roll no hit. Then I attack with 3 dice against this machine gun. I score 2 hits. He will have 3 defenses, and he does not manage to defend, so at least I take out one of those nasty machine guns. And then I will activate the next Sherman. He's going to move, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, and he is going to do fire against this squad. So he rolls 3 dice, and he scores 3 hits. Wow, that's impressive. We roll 3 defenses, and he scores 2 defenses, so he will only receive, see here, 2 hits. But that's still pretty bad for him. He loses 1 officer, 1 elite. And for my last action, I do it again. And we fire with 3 dice. We score 2 hits this time. Are we going to be able to take him out? I hope so. Yes, he scores 1 defense, so we take out the last machine gun. Well, that was very, very lucky. Okay, so that's for our 3 actions. So now I am actually going to put out these opportunity fire marker just because I need to remember. Now we removed all of the enemy machine guns, so the infantry are going to come within fire range. So with the Germans, I just keep putting these guys into opportunity fire. And then I go back to the Americans to do 3 orders. And I am going to have to start moving up. So I'll start with the engineers. They're going to move 1, 2, 3, and they will take opportunity fire now from, let's see here, these 2 guys. They 1, 2, 3, 4. They will not use these guys since that will be a long range attack. So we use this squad combined with this, and that is going to give us, man, they're going to die. That is going to give us a total of 2 in support from those, and these guys are going to attack with 4 plus 2 for 2 elite and 1 regular and 1 officer. Ooh, okay, they are going to kill me on a roll of 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be tough to survive. They roll only 2 hits, which is pretty good. I roll 1 defense since I'm in the tank traps hex, and I roll a 1, so I fail. So they will kill 2 of these Americans. And we move on. I got some more actions to take. I'm gonna move up these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. And then we have these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we go back to the Germans, and they will see here. These have blocked line of sight, so they can't see them. These guys could attack at 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they have enough range, so they will attack with 4 dice. And they score 1 hit, and they have no defense, so they lose 1 of their soldiers. And then they don't have line of sight with anyone, as I can see, so I'm simply going to put 2 more units into opportunity fire. And we go back to the Americans, who again get to do 3 orders, so I'm going to move up the machine gunners here. 1, 2, 3, and this engineer squad, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should be my orders. We go back to the Germans, and see here, these will not have line of sight due to the hill being there. So they can't, let's see here, oh, they actually have line of sight, and they could attack this squad. Let's see about this squad. This squad they cannot attack due to this hill, but they can attack this squad. So they're going to attack, and they're going to use a combined fire. So he will attack with the support of him. So they will get 6 dice. 4 from the 4 regulars in there in the entrenchment, and then 2, which is half of the firepower of the half-track. And that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be a long-range attack. They are going to hit on a roll of 6. And they don't manage to roll a single 6, so I'm safe. And there is no more Germans to activate, so I simply pass now with the Germans. Or actually, we do have some cards here, which we could use. So let's use the sniper attack. That's going to cost 1 command point. And that's going to let me roll 3 dice. I choose a target within line of sight. And a 6, I get to choose 1 soldier to kill. So let's see, I have line of sight to this one, and I want to kill the elite there. So I roll 3 dice, I roll a 6, and I decide to kill one of these elite soldiers. So that's a good use of that card. I also have a suppressive support, but I think that is better to save until the next turn, as that card is going to pin them, and then that pin is going to go away anyway in the status phase. So now I get to move all of my American troops, so I am going to move up this hill, do a fire and movement. So I move up, and then I take opportunity fire from this squad. So they will fire 4 dice, and it's going to be a normal range attack. And they hit with nothing, so they are fatigued. And then they get to fire back. They have 2 elites, 1 officer, 1 standard. That's going to be, let's see here, 4, 5, 6, which turns into 3 then, since it's a fire and movement. And they score 1 hit. They will have 3 defenses in that entrenchment, and they manage to defend. So then I am going to move up with my next squad, a fire and movement, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has an officer, so he's going to fire now with let's see, 2 dice, and he scores no hits. Next squad moves up, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's also attacking with 2 dice. He scores 1 hit, still has 3 defense, and he manages to roll a 5. So, and we have these guys. Let's see, I have a flamethrower here. I want to use him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He has an officer, so he can move that many hexes. He attacks as well with 3 dice. Maybe I actually want to move him up better. No, I think it's better. I don't want to bunch up too many because of the mortars they have. So we attack, we hit 1, and they defend 1 with that 5. 2 more squads doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. He also has an officer. He has an elite for 2 dice, and 2 regular for 2, and 1 officer for 5. So it's going to be an attack with 3 dice against that squad. And I roll nothing. I don't have line of sight with this guy's in opportunity fire due to the fact that there being 2 hill hexes here. So I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. And they have no officers, so they're going to attack from here. And they are going to attack with, let's see here, they have 2 elite, 2 regular, that's 6 dice, so 3 dice. And they score no hits. And that's it. I've done all of my actions. So we go now to the command objective, or the command phase, I should say. So Americans get 4 command points, and the Germans get 2 command points as well. So let's see with the Americans what I want to spend my points on. I want to buy this card, Air Superiority. After you activate an air support strategy card, receive 1 command and place it in your initiative pool. Gain 1 additional attack die when attacking with a bomb run or strafing card. So that's a really good card, and that's going to cost me 1 point. Now, the Germans have 4. They should actually have more. I don't know why they're only having 4. I think I gave them too few points. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Yeah, that's the great thing about recording when you're playing, that you can go back and check yourself. Yes, I just gave them the Germans 2 points. Of course, they should have 4, since they have these 2 command objectives worth 2 each. So they have 6 now, and I want to see with the Americans, I have 5 points here. So I want to put 2 more points on to guarantee that the Germans can't gain the initiative. So we go for the Germans, and they're not going to spend. They only have an action phase card here. So we move on to determine initiative. It stays with the Americans. We draw strategy cards. The Americans are drawing an air support card, and they get cut supply lines. Placing your play area at the end of each status phase, your opponent loses 1 command from his initiative pool. So that's another good card. With the Germans, I draw a ground support card, which is going to be suppressive support. So that's a really nice combination to have 2 of those. And that's it. We start to remove... oh, that's the wrong kind of tokens on those guys. We start to remove all these tokens. So far, I gotta say that I really like this scenario. I think it's probably going to be a hard one. I don't feel like... maybe I am a little bit too defensive when I play, but I feel like there's not too much room for the Germans to act. It's going to be pretty strong to just put many of their units in opportunity fire. So there's not too much things they can do, but the Americans have a few ways they can tackle this scenario. Now the question is, do I want to put any of my units, the Germans that is, in opportunity fire? I'm not sure that is the best idea, because if I do that, the Americans are simply gonna stay, you know, they're within firing distance. So if I decide to do that, I will say that it's very likely that the Americans are just gonna stay where they are and just snipe them from far away. So I'll not put anyone in opportunity fire. So we go now to round 3 out of 9, and I need something under my lip. It's getting intense here. Americans start, and let's see here. I got 2 command points. I got strafing run. I can't afford any of these cards, so I have to be a little bit more. I gotta save a little bit more of my command in the future, or I'm not gonna be able to activate my cards anymore. But I do have 3 actions now before the Germans, so I gotta make the most out of that. Now the question is how I want to tackle this. So our problem here is that we need to get control of these hexes, and we have 7 more rounds to do so. Basically, the German can easily block me by simply just occupying those hexes. So I have the tanks, which can move up and fire at those buildings with incredible firepower due to the fact that the Shermans have the concussive firepower skill. But to do that, I first have to eliminate these bazooka squads or Panzerfaust squads. On top of that, we have the mortars back here, so I would really like to take them out, but they're hidden from my line of sight. So I think what I'm gonna do is, first of all, try to move into an hex where I can see those guys. Fortunately, I don't have an officer nearby here, but this guy could move 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he need 1 more point to move inside. So I could do it with this squad, but then I will not get to use him to remove those tank traps, which I intended to do. So maybe I'll wait and see how the German acts, and I'll see if there's an opportunity to move into that area or not. So the first thing I want to do is activate 1 mortar squad, and he is going to fire 8 dice into this hex, and he's going to use suppressive fire, hoping to pin him or actually rout him. I think so. If I roll with the support of him, I'm going to get 12 dice. If I roll 2 times, it's going to be 16 dice, and they are going to have a total of 10 defense dice because of that officer and elite. So that's 10 against, what did I say? 10 against 12. Those are not really good odds. Or 10 against 16. But if I use his support, I will get 12 dice versus 5 defense dice. So those odds are a lot better. So I'm going to use his support here for my suppressive attack. Let's go. And I'm going to reroll that 6. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So if we are a little bit lucky now, we will rout them. They're rolling 5 defensive dice, 1 for rough terrain, 2 for entrenchment, 1 for officer, 1 for elite. And they only managed to roll 1 defense, so we managed to rout these guys. That's perfect. Okay, so that's the first anti-tank squad out of action. We got 1 more. After that, it's just going to be the mortars who are going to be our main problem here. So we got 2 more actions here. Let's see, my range with the tanks is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these guys he could fire and use the support of these 2 Shermans to get a total of 12 dice. So let's see here. We have 10 dice, 12 dice. And we will do a direct attack. Now the question is, do I want to use more support? I could, if I wanted to. They're going to have 5, let's see here, 3 defensive dice. 1 for rough terrain and 2 for entrenchment. So let's say every dice here have a 33% chance of hitting. And we are rolling 12, so roughly 4 dice should hit. And then he will have 3 defensive dice where at least 1 should defend, so that's going to make 3 hits. So I want, statistically, it's not going to kill him, so I want to use some more support here. So we have this squad. Let's see here which one I should use. I'll actually use this squad. So he is 1, 2, 3, 4 away, and he consists of 1 officer and 2 regulars, so I get 2 more dice. And then I want to use 1 more squad. just to be on the safe side. So I will use this squad. And they have 3 dice, 1 for the officer and 1 for the elite, so I get 2 additional dice. All of these units are firing from a range of normal range, so they will hit on a 5 or 6. So we scored a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So they can still survive this with their 3 defensive dice if they manage to block with each one. Those bastards survive, so I am going to remove the officer and 2 elites. Now, I still have 1 action left, which I am going to use. I'm going to use that to, with this engineer, remove these tank traps, as we have that operational card to remove tank traps. And then it's the Germans. So the Germans here are going to get 3 actions, and they are going to fire with the bazooka. They are firing, or again, puncher strike. They are firing with 1 die for this gentleman, and then 3 more dice because of bazooka. That's 4 dice, or Panzerfaust. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're firing at this lightly damaged Sherman, and they score no hits. We activate this mortar, and he's going to use supportive fire. He will fire 3 dice, an area attack against, let's see here, against this squad. He should have line of sight. Yes, he has line of sight. I would say he has line of sight from this squad and also from him himself, since he's on the same level. So we roll 3 dice, area attack. He scores 2 bloody hits. I don't know how those mortars always seem to hit. We have 4 defensive dice with the first German, and he only rolls 1, so he's lightly damaged. Bloody hell. And next Sherman rolls 4 defense as well, and he scores 2 defenses, luckily, so at least he's undamaged. The Germans have 1 more attack, or 1 more order, I should say. So they will use this squad to fire at that squad. And they have 2 elites for 4 dice. And then they have 1 officer, 1 standard for a total of 6 dice. And they score no hits. Wow. And it's back to my Americans. And now my next goal is to attempt to eliminate the last bazooka or Panzerfaust guy, and finally the mortar squads. So I have 2 Shermans which have not been activated. I also have some infantry that can reach, but will have to fire at long range. So I think I'm gonna go with the Shermans. So they could move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I should wait with that, just so I don't open myself up to attacks from these infantry. They can move and fire. Unlikely to damage me, but they can still do it. And they would roll 2 dice. I feel like I'm safe enough to do it. They can roll 2 dice, and then, well, we have the half track. He could also roll 2 dice. Well, I will have 5 defense, 4 from armor and 1 from rough terrain. So I think I should be pretty safe there. And then I have 1 more order. I've used my mortars. I think I am going to move up with my machine guns. That's 1, 2 points, 3, and let's see here. 1, 2, 3. He can't move there, so he can move 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna stay there. Go back to the Germans, and the Germans are going to fire. See which units they can use here. Let's start from the bottom. He used this squad. He will fire 4 dice at this squad. Actually, he will fire at this squad who has that nasty flamethrower. So he fires with 4 dice. And he scores 1 hit. They have no defense, so they have to lose one of their soldiers. And 2 more actions. And let's go. These guys are blocked by this hex. So these guys could fire 1, 2, 3, 4. They could also fire 4 on that flamethrower up there. And they score 2 hits. Wow. So they kill that officer and the regular infantry. Only 1 standard left. And finally, they will use... they will use this guy to fire 4 dice at the machine guns. And they score 1 hit. He will have 1 defense since he's in a tank trap and he does not manage to defend. So he loses a regular infantry squad there. Back to the Americans. And let's see what I want to do here. I want to move up with my next machine gun. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to move this guy back here. He's going to move 1, 2. And then I'm going to use that medic to try to heal him. So he will use the heal ability, which will heal on a 5, 4, or 6. I roll a 1. Back to the Germans, and there is, let's see here, there is not so many guys who can act, who have line of sight. So I will use, these guys can act, they can fire over here. They can do long range attacks, so that half track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He should also have line of sight to him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he will fire a long range attack. His firepower is 4, hitting on a roll of 6. And he misses, and then he fires with this one, also 4, hitting on a roll of 6. Same target. Misses, and last one. Let's see here. This what's it called, the half track is going to fire 3 dice anti-tank attack against one of the Shermans. He scores 3 hits. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Sherman gets 5 defense, 4 for armor, 1 for rough terrain, and he scores 2 defenses, so he's lightly damaged. Come on, dude. The infantry will fire 4 dice at that Sherman, and that's going to be the next turn. It's now the turn of the Americans again. Okay, so I am going to move in with this medic here, so I can repair next round. And these guys who have a flamethrower and an officer are going to move 1, 2, 3. That's a fire and movement, and their fire value is, let's see here, 4 for 2 elites, 1 for a standard, and 1 for officer. And then we have the flamethrower adding 2 more firepower. So our firepower is 8. So it's going to be 4 dice. Keep in mind they have no defenses since it's a flamethrower. And I score 4 hits, so I rout them. Wow. That was a lucky shot by the Americans. And I have 2 more, let's see, should have 2 more actions, or maybe I used that on those medics, whatever. Let's go to the Americans. They only have a few more guys who can activate now. So these guys are going to fire at the same Shermans with 4 dice. And they hit on a roll of 6. They don't. And then we have these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they activate both of those guys. I'm not even going to put activation tokens. They will fire 6 dice. Combined fire against this squad. And they will hit on rolls of 6. And they don't manage to score a single hit. So that's it. These guys, they could actually also fire. I believe. Let's see here. I'm pretty certain they have line of sight. Yeah, they have line of sight to this squad. So, but they're going to have to wait until the next turn. So for the Americans, I am going to... This guy has been activated. This guy has not. It's the last... Yes, this is the last guy who's not been activated. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, and then finally 4 into this entrenchment. And then these guys are going to be able to activate. They can fire on this squad and this squad. They're going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on long range. So they will fire at the... Oh, there's a hill here. So he actually does not have line of sight. He should have line of sight to these guys, though. So that's going to be an attack of 6 in combined fire. And it's going to be a long range attack. So hitting on a roll of 6 only... He scores 3 6s. They will have 1 defense, being in that, whatever he's called. He scores 1 defense. It's 2 hits to him. And then they do have the suppressive support cards, but I don't feel like that is something that's going to be very useful now. So I think I will save those cards. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think those going to be very useful now. So I save those cards until the next turn. So this is the end of the third action phase. We go to the command phase, and the Americans receive 4 points. On the Germans receive 4 points. So let's see. The Americans have a total of 5, 6, 7, 8 points on their initiative. And, whoops, those should be 1s. So they have 8 points on their initiative, and the Germans have a total of 10 points. So they would have to put 3 more command on their initiative card, but they don't want to do that. So they simply skip that. Instead, they buy the cut supply lines card, which is placed in your play area. At the end of each status phase, your opponent loses 1 command from his initiative pool. So that's 1 cost. So now they have 8. And if the... yeah, they would have to put 8 points on the initiative there to gain that. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense. They would only have 2 points left. So I think it's better for the Germans to save their points, to be honest. So they will not use that. So we move on and draw cards, and Americans keep drawing their cards here for their bombing runs or the air support. They draw another air superiority card. So that's after you activate an air support strategy card, receive 1 command and place it in your initiative pool. Gain 1 additional attack die when attacking with bombing run or strafing card. So that's making the bombing runs extremely dangerous. The Germans draw suppressive support, so they have 3 suppressive support cards now. That's pretty hardcore. Okay, so that's going to be it. We start removing some of these, or all of these, very, 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 very many tokens. And I feel like the Americans are doing good progress. We haven't lost a single Sherman, even though we have 1 that is heavily damaged, so he's on the brink of being lost. And I don't even think I fired with him. I actually forgot that. He should have fired, but he forgot. But that's the price you have to pay for forgetting. But yeah, we have 3 heavily damaged ones, only 3 that are undamaged. Okay, so we are going to go here. We are going to go to round 4 out of 9. So we still have a lot of rounds left, so I don't need to be too reckless here with the Americans. So now I want to take out these mortars. That's kind of my top priority. I think I'll fire simply without any suppressive fire. First guy is going to fire, and he will have 6 attack dice against that mortar. So he fires on the first mortar squad, and he scores only 1 hit. They have no defense. They simply remove a standard infantryman. And then I will fire with the next. He will fire 6. Let's see here. Let's use our mortar first. And he will use the support of his mortar buddy. So they're going to fire with a total of 6 dice as well. And they will do an area attack, so that's affecting both of them. We have line of sight here with this guy who's still not fatigued. And we got 3 hits, so all of those mortar guys are killed. We should have attacked with that before we started attacking with the tanks. I got one more action, and I am going to attempt to murder this bazooka squad before he can give me any more trouble. So that is going to be, let's see who I want to attack with. I want to attack with my tank, and he will attack with 6 dice. And he should use the support of, see here, he should use the support of his buddy here, who's also lightly damaged, for a total of 9 dice. And we score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. He will only have 3 defenses, so he's guaranteed to be killed. And that's it for my action. We go to the Germans. And the Germans are going to... they're going to use the suppressive support card for 1 action. And they pay 1 command point in doing so. And that is going to pin this flamethrower. And then they use 1 additional card for the second action. And they pay 1 more command. And that is going to disrupt him. And then for my third attack, I am going to fire with this squad. A total that's 2 elites for 4 dice. And 1 officer for 1 die. And 1 standard for 1. For a total of 6. And that is going to... they're going to use a suppressive attack against that flamethrower. And they score 2 hits, so he has been routed. He will have, oh, let's see here. He actually gets some defense here. So, let's see here, 2 hits. He will have 1 defense from the tank traps, 1 defense from the officer, and 2 defense from the elites. So if he rolls 2 defenses now, he is not routed. And he only rolls 1 defense, so 1 hit gets through, so he is routed. Well played, Germans. But we go back to the Americans now, who will get to do 3 actions. So we're gonna try to get some payback here. See, my anti-tank range is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have line of sight? Yes, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am going to use this guy to open fire on the half track, and we are going to do so with 8 dice. Hitting on a 5 or a 6. And we score 3 hits. He will have 2 defenses, 1 from rough terrain and 1 from armor. He scores 1 defense, so he takes 1 hit, so he's lightly damaged. And then I fire again with this Sherman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, 8 dice. And I score 2 hits. He will have 1 armor now. And he doesn't manage to use that, so he goes to become heavily damaged. And let's see what I want to do here. I got some more actions. I reckon my machine guns can start to fire. Have to eliminate these guys, but we have plenty of time here, man. So I think it would maybe be the smartest to start to seek cover. So I'm going to move in with my engineers here. They are going to move 1, 2, and they have to stop in the mines or engineers so they don't take any damage. And that's my last action. We go back to the Germans. And they are going to start firing up here. They will fire at the tanks, and they will use supportive fire from the friends for a total of 6 dice against the lightly damaged Sherman, and they will only hit on a roll of 6 since they're 2 hexes away. They roll 1 6. That Sherman is going to get 4 defense, 3 from its armor, 1 from rough terrain, and he manages to roll 3 defenses, so he's safe. Then they attack with the half-track, who will get 1 die against that Sherman. He will actually attack instead the engineers, so he will attack with half his fire value, which is 2. He hits with 1 die, so the engineers take 1 hit, and then 1 last action. So these guys don't have line of sight, so he's just going to put that squad into opportunity fire. And we go back to the Americans. He could actually attack down here, so I think that would be smart. So he attacks, he uses supportive fire. And let's see here, we attack down here, we get 6 dice, long range, so he will only hit on a roll of 6. We score no hits. Back to the Americans, and we want to move in now and start getting some nice stuff here. So we have to be careful. We still need defenses. Let's use these 2 guys to attempt to heal that flamethrower. So I roll for the first guy, and he manages to heal him. He gets 1 more man, and then second flamethrower, and he also manages to do it, so he's up to 3 soldiers now. That's good. And for our third action, I'm going to move in this guy to that entrenchment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the Germans, and they will attack. I will do a combined fire here with this one who fires 4. He gets 2 dice from this one and 2 dice from this one. So that's going to be a total of 8 dice. And he scores 2 hits with that 5 and 6. He will have 3 defenses from being an entrenchment in rough terrain. And he scores 1 defense, so he has to take 2 hits. Okay, and we have 2 more actions with the Germans. They only have 2 units left here, and they don't have line of sight to anyone. So they're simply going to put their men in opportunity fire. So the rest of my actions now are for the Americans. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, and stay there, or maybe we just fire. Let's move in here so I can remove the minefield next turn. So we do a fire and movement, we have to stop. I will fire 2 dice at that squad. We get 2 hits, they will have 3 defenses. And they score 2 defenses. I'll stay with my flamethrower so I can keep healing him up. And then I will fire. I will use 1, 2, 3, 4. I will fire with all of these guys a combined fire. So I start here. The machine gun has a firepower of 3, plus 2 for his standard infantry guys. So that's 5. And then we have this squad, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have a total of 5 dice. So that's going to give me 3 more. And then we have this squad who has a total of 4 dice. That's 2 more. And then we have this squad which has 3 dice. So again, that's 2 more. So this is my total. And again, it's a combined fire value using all of these against, let's see here. I think I want to target this squad. Now let's go for this squad. Okay, so this is all of against him. And we score 1, 2, 3 hits. Not very good. He will roll with 4 defenses since he is a medic inside an entrenchment in a rough terrain. And he scores 2 blocks, so he only loses 1 little soldier. Good defense by the Germans. I have 1 more guy to activate, and that is this tank here, who is going to fire at this squad with 6 dice. Sorry, 3 dice. since it's half his value. He hits with 2. They have a defense of 3. And they defend with 1, so they actually do lose 1 soldier. Perfect. Okay, and that is the end of the action phase of game round 4. We move forward and we put some action or command points out here for each. So now I'm seriously considering if I should use it with the Germans, because they have so many points, and again the Americans have only 8. So the Americans are not gonna purchase anything on that. They will buy the second air superiority card for 1 command and save the rest of their command points. That's gonna be what they need to do here, because they need a lot of command to use these bombing runs. So that's gonna trigger the Germans to spend 8 of their command on initiative, since they have 4 command points remaining. So they can still use their command cards. So initiative goes to the Germans, and then we draw cards. They draw ground support. They get saboteur. Discard 1 face-up strategy card from your opponent's HQ area. And the Americans draw air, a strafing run. And then what they actually get is a +2, so they get 1 more card. They draw sniper attack. And then we start to remove all of these many tokens. So we have 5 more rounds here. That feels like it should be sufficient for the Americans to win. But I'm not 100% certain. Now, of course, we start with initiative on the German side. So let's see here. Let's save 3 of these, and we move on. And let's see here, one last thing. So I have the cut supply line. So at the end of your status phase, your opponent loses 1 command. So he loses 1 command. He should have thought of that, because now actually the Americans keep the initiative. So he spent all of those points, you know, in a stupid way. But to be honest, determining initiative is done at the end of the command phase. So the initiative should actually start with the Germans. Just that they next round they're going to have to put more command on there if they want to keep initiative. So that's that makes sense, because again it says that at the end of each status phase, your opponent loses 1 command from his initiative pool. Let's not forget to increase this. So we are now in round 5 out of 9. The Germans have the initiative, and we are going to... We need to stop those tanks, so I will use this one, and he will use support from this squad. And he will have 4 dice, and his friend is going to have 3, which turns into 2. And they do a long-range attack against this Sherman, hitting on a roll of 6 or higher. And he rolls 1-6. The Sherman is going to have 4 defense dice. He rolls 1 defense, so the Sherman is safe. He attacks with this guy, and he's gonna attack maybe there is a better attack to do here. Let's look. Yeah, this guy is gonna attack the engineers. He is attacking with 5 dice, and it's a close assault, so he's probably going to kill him. Yeah, he rolls 4 hits. He will have 3 defense dice, so he's dead. American squad down, an engineer squad. Last action. Let's use this squad and try to stop these guys from removing the mines. We use 4 dice. Actually, what we could do instead is we could use the suppressive support and make him pinned. So that's an action, and we have to pay 1 command point using that card. And then it goes back to the Americans. Now I want to think carefully here about my plan. I got 2 actions. I am going to move these Shermans 1, 2, 3, 4. So they do a fire and movement, both of them. And he can only move here because he has 1 less movement point. They are going to fire at this squad. So their firepower is against infantry is 6. Plus 3 if it's a concussive firepower. So that's a total of 9. So they will have 5 dice each. So they are firing at this squad here with 5 dice. He scores 3 hits and they will have 2 defenses. And they don't manage to defend, so they lose 3 soldiers. And then we have next attack, which is next Sherman, targeting the next guy. So he fires, and he scores 2 hits, and they have 2 defenses. And they roll no defense. They will actually have 3 defense because of the medic, and the medic managed to defend, so they lose only 1. Now I have 1 more action to do. So I'm thinking about using one of my bombing cards here. So I am going to... I'm curious about establishing contact. Because, you know, as you know with the mortars, these guys can't spot because they're fatigued. So they can't officially spot. I'm wondering if that is the same with establishing contact, but I'm not certain that it is, so I'm gonna just quickly read it up. Blah, blah, blah. When a card requires players to establish contact, the active player must now roll a single die. Salt is equal to the blah, blah, blah. The contact is not shown. Actually doesn't say anything about... It doesn't say anything about being in line of sight. And then we have keyword, which is next one, target hex. Many strategy cards will require a player to establish a target hex on the board. A player resolves this by placing the target hex on any board hex of his choice, or within any restriction indicated by the strategy card. After placing the target token, the player continues to resolve the remaining effects of the strategy card. So as far as I can see, this card, you don't even have to have line of sight, because again, established contact is just that you have to roll the number or higher. So, I've always thought that you needed line of sight, but perhaps you simply don't need that with air cards, or maybe I'm misinterpreting it. But okay, so we need to establish contact. We need to roll a 4 or higher. Also, we need to pay 4 by doing this, and then we have air superiority. So that is after you activate an air support strategy card, receive 1 command and place it in your initiative pool. So we receive 2 of those onto our initiative. And we activate the card, we have to roll. So now we want to roll a 4 or higher, and we roll a 2. So unfortunately, we don't establish contact, but we can in another game round. So it goes now to the Germans to act with 3 actions. And they are kind of running out of units here. They are going to fire with this squad with the combination of this. So they will, maybe they should get out of there. That house is going to go down quick. That's a tough one. Well, they start by firing on this guy. They want to take out that. So they will have 3 dice and half of his, which will be 1 rounded up. So 4 dice. And they will hit on a roll of 6. And they don't hit. They have 2 more actions. There is no line of sight here because of the hills, so they cannot fire. So let's go down here. This squad is going to fire 4 dice, suppressive fire against that squad. They score 3 hits. They will have 1 defense for the officer. And he managed to defend, so that goes from pinned to disrupted. if he would not have rolled that defense, it would have been him being routed. This guy does not have line of sight. They have line of sight over here though, so they are going to fire a combined, or let's not do a combined fire because they have no defenses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's long range. They fire with 4 each, hitting on 6. And the first one rolls 2, 6, so he managed to take him out. And the second guy, say it's a half track, he will put his unit into opportunity fire. And it's back to the Americans. And I want to use, see, strafing run could probably be good. That's just a suppressive attack, so I don't feel like using that. Okay, so let's see here what we want to do. I want to move up to my Shermans, so they are going to move 1, 2. Let's see here. I'll move the undamaged one. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be fire and movement, so he will roll, what did we say, 5 dice as a fire and movement, because it will be 6 plus 3 for concussive fire. So yeah, it's going to be 5 dice against this squad here with the medic. We roll no hits. Next guy is up. 1, 2, 3. He does also a fire and movement, so 5 dice against the same squad. He scores 3 hits, and the squad is going to have 3 defenses. He scores 1 defense, so he loses 2. And for our last action, I am going to... This is tough. I think I will fire with the machine gunners here. Do another attack up there to try to take these guys out. So the machine gunner is going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to fire with 5 dice. And he's going to use the support of these guys. See, their line of sight is blocked. So he will fire with 5 dice against this infantry squad. And he rolls 2 hits. They will have 3 defense. They roll 3 defenses. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I want to move up my mortars. One, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I can see here. Yeah. So I can start taking out those guys in the buildings. We go back to the Germans, and they have only 1 squad left to activate, and that is going to be this guy who is going to fire on the machine guns with 2 dice. They score 1 hit, they have 1 defense, and then don't manage to defend, so they lose 1 soldier. And then they're going to use a sniper attack for 1 command point. They roll 3d6 against, let's see, against this machine gun squad. And they don't manage to hit. And then they will use Saboteur. They will pay their last 2 command points to use that card. So that says discard 1 face-up strategy card from your opponent's HQ area. So they are going to remove the bombing run deck or bombing run card, which of course I know that my opponent wants to use that. And how can I know that? Well, because I am the Germans' opponent. And that's it for the Germans. We go back to the Americans. And now we want to rush our troops up, I believe. Let's see here. The objective says capture both victory hexes by the end of round 9. So that means even if we get to those hexes, we're still going to have to kill everything that's left. So let's start here by attacking with this guy. So he's going to attack with 4 dice. And he is going to use the support of him for 2 more dice. And he is 1, 2, 3, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can attack 2. He's going to have 5 dice. So that will be 3 defense dice or support dice. So that's our final attack. It's a normal range attack. And we score 3 hits. He will have 3 defenses, or actually 4 defenses. He scores 2 defenses. So he gets the defenses because he's a medic in an entrenchment in a rough hex. So that's 3 defenses stacking together. We move on to these guys. Or I have some Shermans here that can act. Let's see here what I want to do with them. This guy can't move, so I'll start with him. So he's going to attack with 3 dice against this squad. And he scores 1 hit. They will have 4 defenses. Yeah, they block. And then I got my last Sherman. I think I kind of want to get into a better position with him. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to move all the way up there. So let's try to kill this guy before we move on. So he's going to have 6 dice. And he can use fire support from this squad. 1 die. So that's going to be his total against this squad. We score only 1 hit, and again they have a shitload of defense, 4, and they manage to defend with 2. This medic is attempting to heal him. He fails. Next medic attempt, he also fails, and he stays where he is. He want to be fully healed before he moves up, and that's going to be the end of this round. Okay, so initiative or command. Americans gain 4, and the Germans gain 4. And the Germans have initiative. They're not going to spend any initiative on their initiative card, as they know it's hopeless with the Americans having the cut supply lines card. The Americans don't have anything to spend on. They're all action phase cards. So they simply ignore that. So we move on. We draw strategy cards, and they draw from the air support deck. We have another strafing run, and the Germans draw anti-air support, which lets you draw 1 more card, and they get another anti-air support. So we start to remove our tokens here. This guy removes this since he has an officer. And we are going to enter game round 6 out of 9 now. So it's looking really bad for the Germans, I would say. They don't have too much units left. So that should be it. We move this one up 1. We're in round 6 out of 9. Okay, so again, with the bombing run, it just says establish contact, target hex. You know, my logic in that is, it seems to me that I don't have to actually have line of sight. So I'm going to attack this squad here, and that's one of my actions. And I'm going to have to establish contact, rolling a 4 or higher. And I roll a 5, so target hex is going to be this hex. And I got 2 air superiority cards, so gain 1 additional die when attacking with a bombing run or strafing run strategy card. So that's not going to be 4 dice, it is going to be 6, and it's an area attack. And we have a target counter here, so it's going to be 6 dice against both of them. So we start with the first squad, or actually it's an attack that happens to both. So it's going to be 3 hits, and they both get 2 defense each, being in a building. So first one rolls no defense, so he is going to lose 3 soldiers to that bombing run. And Then next guy gets 2 defense, and he rolls 2, so he's just going to lose 1. So he was a little bit more lucky when that thing blew up. And then I am going to do, with my last 2 orders, I am going to do a fire and movement. So I'm going to move up this hill 1-2 points, fire 5 dice at this squad here with 3 defenders. And I hit once, they have 2 defense, and they defend once. Last action, I'm moving up with this Sherman and doing the same thing. Let's not forget the... And we are attacking with 5 dice. We score 1 hit, they have 2 defenses, and they roll 2 defenses. Lucky Germans, man. Okay, so we move on. It's the Germans' turn. And let's see here. That's not really much they can do now. They're getting pretty beaten up. I reckon they can, just like as a last desperate defense, I reckon they could probably move in into these buildings. We also have this anti-air support card, so action phase, discard 1 of your opponent's air support strategy cards that's face up in his HQ area. So he got 2 of those, sorry, he got 3 of those. So let's go ahead and use 2 actions to remove these 2 cards. And that's going to cost 2 actions and 2 action points. By the way, just want to see if one thing here. Gain 1 additional attack die, yeah. And receive, after you activate an air support strategy card, receive 1 command and place it in your initiative pool. I believe I did that. Okay, so they still have 1 action. And the question is what I want to do here is, again, not really much more they can do. I'll do a fire and movement with this guy. So that's 1, 2, and then 3 into entrenchment. We're going to fire on that tank, and we're going to fire with 2 dice. We score 2 hits. He will have 3 defense, and he scores 2 defense. So he is undamaged. We go back to our guys. Let's see, maybe a strafing run would be good. Could probably be good. Let's go ahead and use it. So that's going to cost me 3 points, and that's going to give me 2 points to my initiative. I need to establish contact. I need to roll 4, but I don't manage to do that. That's my first action. I will use my next action to activate with these guys, and they will do fire together for a total of 9 dice. Let's see here. Or maybe, yeah, he's close range, so I think it's good to get rid of them. I have to get moving here, though, because we are running out of turns. So let's see here. The Sherman's anti-tank is 6. So it's 6 plus 3 from the help. So we're going to have 9 dice against them. We scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They will have 4 defenses. And they score only 1 defense, so it's 4 hits. So finally we get rid of that guy. We got 1 more action. And I'll try to heal this flamethrower again. He just does not want to get healed, does he? Okay, I think I gotta stop doing that. Now it's not too many turns left. We go for the Germans again. And they are going to fire with this squad. 4 against him. And they score 1 hit. And then I will move with this squad 1, 2, 3, 4. And this half track is going to move 1, 2, do a fire and movement. And he is going to fire on him with 2 dice. He scores 1 hit, and they will have 1 defense from rough terrain. They don't manage to defend, so they lose. Oh, they actually entrenchment, so they will have 2 more defenses. And they don't manage to defend with any die, so they lose 1 soldier. And then it is back to the Americans one last time. I'm going to try to heal that flamethrower. Now we actually managed to do it. Sweet. Let's move this flamethrower up. 1, 2. Okay, let's wait. Let's do it like this first. Let's remove the mines here with our engineer. And then it should be the Americans again. No, I think I have 1 more action. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's back to the Germans, and they are going to fire with this squad on the machine gunners. 2 dice. It's 1 standard, 1 officer, 1 hit. They have 1 defense being in that hex, but they take that hit. Lose 1 of the standard infantry. And then I'm going to fire, see here, with these guys. They will hit 4 dice on that machine gun squad. And they score 2 hits. They have 1 defense and they fail. So that one is dead. And then we have this guy who is going to attack. Let's see, he doesn't have line of sight to anyone. So let's just put him in opportunity fire. We go back to the Americans. And I am going to move this soldier up here. Fire and movement. Fire 1 die. I roll a 2, so I miss. And then I am going to move up with my Sherman here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fire and movement. And he will fire at that medic squad with 5 dice. He scores 1 hit. The medic has 3 defenses. And he doesn't manage to defend, so the medic is killed. Last action. Let's go ahead and fire with this squad. 3 dice against this fella. That's 1 hit. He will have 3 defenses. And he manages to defend. Back to the Germans, who are going to make 1 desperate attempt here to take out the Sherman. He's going to use help from this squad, so he will have 3 dice plus 1, hitting on a roll of 6. He scores no hit. And finally we have this guy who will do the same, a desperate attempt to damage him with 1 die. He rolls a 1, he needed a 6. And that's it for the Germans. So now my Americans are free to move. Let's see here. I am going to... I want to bomb with them. The only ones I have line of sight to, I believe, are these guys. I don't have line of sight to them. So all of the other guys are fatigued, so I can't use them. So I'll use my mortars to do a normal attack. That's going to be 6 dice in using them together against this squad. And we score 2 hits. They will have 4 defenses. They score 1 defense, so they lose 1 of their soldiers. And then we have a few more squads here. I don't believe these have been activated. So let's go ahead and these guys remove the mines. These guys will move 1, 2, 3, 4. And these guys will move 1, 2. And that's it. So that's the end of my turn. We go to the command phase again. And shouldn't forget to use that cut supply lines card I have. So the Germans, I should have done that last supply phase. So I received 4 points, and so does the German. There we go. So American has the initiative, but they have nothing to buy. They don't spend anything on their initiative. Let's see here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, actually, they're going to spend 1 point to make sure they keep it. So goes to the German, and of course, they don't spend anything on it. So we go to the status phase. They draw the last ground support card and get reconnaissance. And we draw the last American air support, and we get another bombing run. And then we start removing these many tokens. And we have 3 more turns. So now all I have to do is get my infantry up there so they can capture those points. That's going to be the #1 priority now. And that can take a while because I don't really have too many squads very near. So shouldn't underestimate the enemy here too much, because then it's going to bite us in the ass. And with our cut supply lines card, we remove one of the Germans' command points. And it is our turn. We are now in round 7 out of 9. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to buy the bomb run card for 4 points. So I gain 2 more on my initiative card. And we try to establish contact. Here we need to roll a 4 or higher. Roll a bloody 1, typical. So we still have the strafing run. So I guess that could be a good one. So let's do the strafing run. We need a 4 to establish contact, and we roll a 5. So that's going to be a suppressive area attack. Target adjacent to initial target hex. Let's see. Then target hex adjacent to initial target hex, also for a suppressive area attack. So that's going to be 5 dice plus 2 because I have 2 air superiority cards. And they do, of course, 1 additional die when strafing runs. So this is an area suppressive attack against all of these guys. And that's a really shit roll, as always, man. 2 defense dice. They manage to defend, of course. 2 defense dice. They don't manage to defend, so they are pinned. And then 2 defense dice. And they manage to defend. That's hilarious, man. Okay, my last action, I'm going to attack with these guys. And they are going to attack with 8 dice. Totally. Or actually, maybe first I start with this guy, because he's going to be open to get killed otherwise. So he attacks. He is going to attack with, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 2 for the flamethrower, and they will not have any defense. And he scores 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. They have no defense, so they are now killed. Okay, back to the Germans. And let's see here what their desperate attempt is going to be. They are going to move 1 squad over here, doing a fire and movement, attacking with 2 dice against that Sherman, and they hit twice. He will have 4 dice for defense. He doesn't manage to defend, so he's bloody heavily damaged. Next up, they're going to move this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoping to block now the Americans to not be able to achieve their victory. And finally, I am going to, let's see here, move this half track. 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4, so we block the way there too. And that's it for my actions. Strafing run card should be discarded, I reckon, since I used that. Now, let's go ahead and use the mortars, which I never did. So they are going to attack this. Or actually, they will attack this base. They're going to do so with 8 dice. suppressive attack. Man, 2 hits, 2 defenses each. They managed to defend the first squad, and the pinned squad managed to defend with 2 fucking dice. Man, that's extremely annoying. Okay, we have 1 more mortar. He's going to fire at the same area with 8 dice. Suppressive attack. He scores 4 hits. 2 defenses. And they don't manage to defend, so they are routed. And then this guy defends with 2 as well. And he scores, of course, he scores that many defenses. Crazy. So he still gets 3 hits though. So it's just like with lightly damage. If you're already pinned, 3 hits or more, it's going to rout you. So he's routed. But still incredible that they always manage. With their mortars, they're taking out my bloody Shermans. You know, even though they have like 4 and 5 defense, depending on the terrain they're standing on. But when I'm firing at them with my mortars, I'm not hitting anything. And they're firing with what? 2 dice and 3 dice, and I'm firing with 8. And then they roll 2 defense, and they manage to defend with all of them. So you gotta excuse my anger here, but I'm getting enraged. Okay, let's go here. We are gonna move up with... We are going to move up with this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the Germans. And they are going to move with this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're going to fire with this half track. And they are going to fire with 2 dice against this infantry squad. They score no hits. And for their last action, they are going to use this lonely squad to fire 1 anti-tank against this one. He rolled a 4. I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have made him heavily damaged, to be honest. Okay, so we're getting to an end here. It's the Americans' turn, and they can activate, of course, all of their remaining units. So let's go ahead and start with... I think the most pressing matter are these guys. So I'm going to start with firing with this machine gun. And he's going to try to kill that medic who's trying to reach his friends. So he will fire with 3 dice. And he scores 1 hit. The medic has 1 defense since he's a medic. And he manages to defend, of course. Then we have this guy. And he is going to actually move. I want to kill that medic before, so let's start with this guy. He's going to attack with 3 dice. And he scores 1 hit. The medic does not manage to defend. I swear, if he would have gotten to defend with that, I would have screamed. Let's go ahead and move up with this guy. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have... a bunch of more guys who's going to be able to move. Let's start by activating this Sherman. He's going to fire at this squad. Or maybe he should fire. Yeah, he's going to fire. He's at close range there. So he will use 3 dice. He scores no hits, of course. Let's move up with these guys. 1, 2, 3, and then this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have these 2 guys. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He can actually move up there because he has an officer. And this guy is immobilized, but he can fire at this fella. So he can fire at him with 4 dice. So he scores 3 hits. Wow, well done. 1 defense, and he doesn't manage to defend, so that half track is heavily damaged. And then we have... these are our last guys now, the Shermans. So I want to take out the guys in the building, of course. Let's start with the first. So he's going to fire. He's going to fire, let's see here. He will have 6 plus 3, so a total of 9 dice. He's firing on that. Let's see here. Let's start with these ones actually, because if they die, I can use them to fire on those. So first Sherman fires 9 dice at this squad. And I score only 2 hits. They have 2 defenses. And they score no defense, so they take those 2 hits. And then we have the next Sherman, who is going to fire same number of dice at the same target. Oh crap. And he rolls 3 hits, so even if he scores his 2 defenses, oh, it's that guy. Let's go. And he scores no defense, so he's killed. Okay, so this time I want to activate this Sherman and shoot at, let's start by shooting at this squad. And so he will fire also 9 dice. Or actually, no, it's a plateau here, so he don't have line of sight to them. That sucks. Okay, so he's going to fire at that squad. And again, he's going to use 9 dice. And he will use supportive fire from his friend for 5 more dice, just to make sure we break their defenses there. And look at that. We score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. So even if he rolls 2 defenses, that guy is gone. Okay, so the road lays open now to conquer them. This is the end of round 7's phase. We go on. The Germans and Americans both receive 4 command points. And none of them will purchase anything. We remove 1 command here because we have the cut supply lines. And then we go ahead to remove all of these fatigue markers. So it's looking like I'm going to annihilate the Germans. Simply going to kill everything that they put on the board. And we draw strategy cards. They draw offensive artillery, and I draw last American air support, which is air reconnaissance. Reveal 1 opponent's concealed squad markers, or your opponent must choose 1 face-up strategy card in HQ to discard, and then discard all other face-up cards in his. Okay, your opponents must choose 1 face-up strategy card in his HQ area, and then discard all other face-up cards in his HQ area. Wow, that's a strong one. And that has a plus, so I get an artillery card, sustained blanket. Okay, so we are now in round 8 out of 9, and we have the initiative still. So this is going to be a cakewalk. Let's use our mortars first of all. So they will use a combined fire to fire with 6 dice against this guy who's left there. And we score 2 hits. He will have 2 defenses. And he rolls 1 defense, so he's dead. That's my first action. Then I am going to fire with these guys against that half track. They will use combined fire. So they will fire with, let's see here, they have 18 firepower. Plus 4 then, because of his friend. We fire at the half track. And we score only 1 hit. Wow, that's terrible. He will have 1 defense though. And of course he rolls that bloody defense. Incredible, man. Incredible. I don't know why, but whoever I play as, I always feel I rolled so bad. Let's go with this guy then against that half track. So we're going to use, let's see here, we're going to use 4 dice, which is half of his value. And we hit 4 times now, so he's got no defense. He's toast. So, okay, we killed that half track, and now the enemy is reduced to only 1 half track. The enemy gets to act. I mean, they could use one of their artillery cards here. Let's just do it. Establish contact. He needs a roll of 5, but he rolled a 2. And he has to pay 3 points for that. And then he got one more action. He can't move, but he can fire. So he's going to fire with 2 dice against these guys. And he scores 1 hit, so they will take 1 hit. That's it for the Germans. They can't do a third action. Well, they can... Whoops. They can play the reconnaissance. Look at the top 3 cards of any of your opponent's strategy decks. So it's not going to help him, but just for the fun of it, let's say we use that card. And look at the top 3 cards. We got offensive increased priority. I don't want him to get increased priority. So you may place each card onto the top or bottom of the deck in that deck in any order. I'll put the increased priority in the bottom. First I put the offensive artillery, then increased, and then top priority barrage on the top there. Okay, and that's it for the Germans. They don't have any more actions that they can do. They discard these cards, they keep that one. So it's all up to my Americans now, and I have 2 turns to do this, so this is going to be a cakewalk. These guys move up in here, these guys move up in here. We're going to do a fire and movement against that half track. Let's start with this guy. 1, 2, and he gets to roll 4 dice. He scores 1 hit. He has 1 defense, being in rough terrain, and of course he scores another defense. Incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he moves all the way close to get into close assault. He will roll 4 dice. And he scores 2 hits. So now it doesn't matter if he managed to, yeah, of course he managed to defend again, but that 4 in close assault is also a hit. So that's the last German. The last German has been killed. So now as the Americans, we simply pass. We go to the next command phase, and we don't win because we have to hold these objectives by the end of round 9, and we're still in round 8. So we draw cards, artillery card here for both of my teams, and then we go to remove these tokens. And now we go to round 9, and the Germans can't do anything because they don't have any cards to play or any units to use, so they just pass, and the Germans, Americans I should say, they also pass because they are right where they want to be. And that, my friends, is the end of Anzio. Well, this was a pretty fun scenario, and I really killed a lot of Germans. I can tell you that the Americans, we lost 4 full squads, and the Germans lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 full squads plus 2 vehicles. So this was a very uneven fight. But again, I feel like the Germans, they have really a limited kind of way to defend because you don't want to go out in the open. You want to stay in that cover. And there's just so many turns for the Americans to do this, 9 turns. So I feel this is going to be really on the hard side for the Germans. But that was fun because usually with the Germans, it is really hard to break their defenses with all of their machine guns in opportunity fire and so on. So I'm glad that I got finally a mission where it was pretty easy to beat the Germans, especially with the air support that we have. I still find it a little bit strange here with the bombing runs that you don't need any line of sight. Kind of strange. I'm going to read up a little bit on that rule actually, just to make sure that I play that correctly. But that's how I interpret that rule. I'll let you know in the next video what I think about that. And yeah, we now completed all of the website exclusive scenarios. So we played the basic game, Next Wave, all the scenarios. We played all of the Fantasy Flight games exclusive scenarios. There were 4 of them. And then we played the 1 core game scenario from the 1A Games Kickstarter scenario booklet. So now we only have 1 more thing to play before we move on to the expansions. And that is, we have the Designer Series Volume 1 scenario book. So that book is an expansion which consists of 20 scenarios, and 13 out of those scenarios are for the core game. So we're going to play those 13 scenarios, and then we're going to move on to Days of the Fox, where we're going to be fighting in North Africa. Then we're going to move on to the Normandy expansion, then to the Fury of the Bear, and finally to the Stalingrad expansion. We have a total of 85 official scenarios. And of course, if we ever get to that point where we complete all of these 85 scenarios, we have hundreds of fan-made scenarios. We have the opportunity to build any kind of scenarios that we want to play. So it really has unlimited, potential and replayability. As long as you're having fun, even if you run out of official scenarios, you're not going to stop playing. And I know that the balance can be pretty awkward in some of the official scenarios, and that actually some fan-made scenarios might be even better than some official ones. So don't be scared about trying them. Command and Colors, a great website to find many of the scenarios or all of the scenarios that have ever been available. The guy who did that website, just Google Command and Colors Tide of Iron. He has put a tremendous amount of energy into collecting all of the scenarios that have ever been available. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like the video and comment. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. If you want to support me a little bit extra, you can become a supporting member of the channel. That's going to cost you $2.99 a month, or you can do a one-time donation with PayPal or YouTube Super Thanks. Okay, guys, thank you for watching and see you next time.